What I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab.
And it's exciting. You know, Terence is frequently strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you.
Few potential matchups in boxing ignite debate like Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Terence "Bud" Crawford. Both stand as masters of their generations. Mayweather with unmatched defensive brilliance and an unblemished record. Crawford with explosive versatility and ruthless finishing ability. Fans and experts alike argue over who would prevail if these two strategic geniuses ever met, a clash not only of skill and style, but of legacy and era-defining greatness.
One of the greatest. He's done shit that Floyd Mayweather ain't done.
Like what?
Like what?
What is that don't know?
He is a two-time undisputed champion. Floyd wasn't a one-time undisputed champion. So he has all the belts in one division and then moved up and got all the belts in another division. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of boxing.
Yes, and he beat the man.
And he beat the man. Let's give Terence Crawford his flowers because everything he said he was going to do,
He done it.
Floyd Mayweather retired unbeaten at 50-0, boasting one of boxing's most flawless records. His career featured victories over champions in 5 weight divisions. Renowned for his defensive genius, Mayweather consistently neutralized both power punchers and elite tacticians with unmatched precision and control.
Floyd Mayweather stopped Conor McGregor in the 10th round to improve to 50-0 in what he says will be his final fight. I actually believe him this time, Max. What's his legacy?
Well, he's one of the great pure boxers who ever lived. He is never cheated himself. He always was in condition. He had no off nights. That's why he won every fight. It's one of the reasons. Not because he's one of the best to ever do it, and because he was always prepared over a very long amateur and pro career. Amazing. Another reason is he carefully selected opponents, knew when and where and when and who to fight, and basically changed the paradigm in boxing. I'll translate. He flipped the script. I mean, really, boxing is basically, and this is just the way it is, and I'm a huge boxing fan, and I make no apologies about it, but it is fans and networks essentially exploiting fighters. That's how it works. We want to, and we demand a level of dedication and risk-taking with your health that's insane, right? Like, someone's getting their head beaten every which way, and if you quit, you don't have heart. You can't be a great fighter, which is true, by the way. It's a blood sport. And usually fighters wind up broke and punch drunk. And Floyd Mayweather flipped the script. He said, no, I'm not going to let the game play me. I'm going to play the game.
Terence Crawford has steadily crafted one of the most complete legacies in modern boxing, becoming an undisputed champion in multiple weight classes. His rare ability to adapt to any opponent's style, combined with switch-hitting mastery, explosive power, and high ring IQ, has made him a nightmare for anyone across the ring. Crawford's dominance at welterweight solidified his place among the sport's elite, placing him firmly in the pound-for-pound conversation, where only the shadow of Mayweather's greatness still lingers. Fighters and veterans continue to weigh in.
Everything is on Terence Crawford's side, all the legacy, meaning he only has the opportunity to win the belts. Saul only has an opportunity to defend them. Terence Crawford has an opportunity to be in a 5 division and the only person to win all 4 belts in 3 separate weight divisions. Why is Saul taking this fight? And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's some things in life more important than just the belts. And that 20-year career that Terence Crawford made, that all that he has, is very valuable. Very, very valuable. He had 1 foot out the game. And if he can be the man to defeat him, because remember, if Saul beats him, Terence Crawford was the first man to get all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions. Yes, I beat that champion. Yes, I beat the multiple division champion, and he had the...
Oscar de la Hoya, who once shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, recently reaffirmed his belief that Floyd remains a superior fighter. He pointed to Mayweather's flawless record, technical brilliance, and ability to consistently win at the sport's highest level as proof of his unmatched greatness, a view widely shared among boxing's old guard. On the opposing side stands Canelo Alvarez, who fought Mayweather in 2013 and has more recently shared the ring with Terence Crawford. Canelo sparked controversy by declaring Crawford way better than Mayweather, praising his ring IQ, adaptability, and dominant performances. Coming from a fighter who has faced both legends under vastly different circumstances, Canelo's opinion adds undeniable weight to this ongoing generational debate.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
You faced Mayweather, you were what, 23 years old, I believe?
23.
And
Just
again,
turned 23.
yeah, you just turned 23. You didn't have a lot of seasoning. I know people will say, oh, he had a lot of fights. Well, you didn't have an amateur career. You started boxing at 15 as a pro,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you gave up the weight concession. You gave up the rehydration clause. And I always thought if you would have faced him, with some more seasoning, it would have gone differently.
He deserved the position in that moment because, Floyd Mayweather is one of the best fighters in the boxing history, and he deserved the position in that moment. I try to make history, and I try to put myself in the very top in that moment. But for some reason, it doesn't happen, right? And yeah, like you say, if I had that fight with Miguel Angel Cotto first and all these kind of fights, and then fight Mayweather, maybe go in the different way. But we never gonna know. And I learned what from that fight, and like I say, things happen for a reason.
Shane Mosley, who went the distance with Mayweather, leans toward Crawford in a hypothetical matchup, arguing that Bud's complete skill set makes him more dangerous. While acknowledging Floyd's brilliance, Mosley believes Crawford's versatility, unpredictable angles, and offensive arsenal-present challenges Mayweather never had to face, making the debate far from one.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Shane Mosley has also emphasized that while he admires Crawford's all-around talent, Floyd Mayweather is far from a weak link. He's repeatedly stated that Mayweather's defensive genius, discipline, and ring intelligence make him one of the most difficult puzzles in boxing history to solve.
Surprised about his power. When you attack Floyd, he has a way of making you run into it and you feel the power, like a collision. But when you kind of box away from him, yes, he has power, but not like he does when you're trying to attack him. He's not weak, he's strong. Like I say, he trains hard and he does all the things you're supposed to do as a fighter or as a champion to be the best.
Mosley faced Mayweather in 2010 and even rocked him hard in the second round. However, he later admitted that Floyd quickly adjusted, completely shut him down, and never gave him another clear shot. That experience shaped Mosley's perspective. He respects Crawford's size, switch hitting offense, but knows firsthand that Mayweather's ability to neutralize opponents' best weapons is second to none.
Everybody talk about Shane Cardi. But what was the issue? Shane started hesitating. Why did Shane hesitate? Because he took the best shot and he stood there, held on tight, and on top of that, made Shane feel his strength. And came back out like nothing happened the previous round.
Right.
But still stone cold.
Right.
And then Shane ends up being the one hesitating, waiting, and the fight get away from him.
I'm saying Shane hit me with a hell of a shot.
Okay.
Actually, 2 shots.
Okay.
But even in that particular round, what I said to Shane was this. I was like,
you yourself said something to him when you grabbed.
I said, you gotta kill me.
Oh shit. I wasn't ready.
I said that was a good one. I said that was a good one, but you gotta kill me. I said, you gotta kill me. And then I'm not gonna lie, I meant it.
Andre Ward, a close friend and former champion, has passionately defended Terence Crawford against comparisons that favor Mayweather. Ward highlights Crawford's adaptability, technical skill, and consistent dominance over elite opponents as clear evidence that he deserves to be mentioned alongside Floyd in greatness discussion.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Tyke Shakur, Devin, Boots,
my favorite.
It's a lot of them, and they skillful in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud. Because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. You gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man. There's not a lot of guys like that out there currently. There's a lot of guys that talking, but until you get in that real fire, I'm not saying a guy you fighting a guy you should beat. I'm saying a guy that it's a 50-50 matchup. We don't really know what you have. You don't even really.
Ward has even called Crawford the greatest of all time. Not just out of friendship, but because he genuinely believes Crawford's resumed dominance and adaptability are unmatched in modern boxing. After Crawford's demolition of Errol Spence Jr., Ward declared that Bud had rightfully earned recognition as the greatest fighter of this generation and era.
Just seeing Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
Terence Crawford is a great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people call me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So, what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing? Why are we still in the game?
I get it, Andre.
Floyd Mayweather has spoken about Terence Crawford with a mix of respect and self-assured pride. He's publicly praised Crawford's achievements, especially his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., yet often reminds fans of his own unmatched resume and longevity at the sport's highest level. True to form, Mayweather continues to present himself as the ultimate standard of excellence in boxing, a benchmark every great must be compared to. This balance between admiration and legacy preservation is natural for Floyd, who's built his identity on being the best of his era. The thought of a successor fuels the ongoing debate.
The fight, I really like both of those guys, a lot. Like, I had a chance to hang around Earl. I had a chance to hang around Terence, and both guys, class act. It would look like I'm leaning towards one guy because I boxed one guy before.
It was beautiful to watch, but also tough to watch to see what happened to Errol. Obviously, you don't wish that on
Nobody. The best man won. If I was training him or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't even think he should be fighting at 154.
Really?
I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168.
Wow.
It's just my honest opinion.
Roy Jones Jr. has been outspoken in placing Terence Crawford at or near the very top of today's pound-for-pound rankings. He's praised Crawford's long-term dominance, calling him the current P4P king with only a few names, like Nalia Inoue close behind. Jones has also offered a nuanced critique of Floyd Mayweather's legacy, acknowledging his greatness, but suggesting that certain fighters, with different primes and styles, might have posed more problems for Floyd than many fans admit. Regarding the Crawford-Canelo discussion, Roy has described Crawford as a great small guy capable of beating elite, larger opponents, subtly implying that Crawford has the skill and mentality to handle even Mayweather-level challenge.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
Up him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud.
Tim Bradley has openly stated that Terence Crawford would defeat a prime Floyd Mayweather. He believes Crawford's versatility, timing, power, strength, and ability to adapt give him the tactical edge over Floyd. Still, Bradley has immense respect for Mayweather, calling him one of his favorite fighters ever and praising his defensive brilliance, footwork, speed, and agility. Ahead of the Canelo versus Crawford bout, Bradley warned that a loss to Crawford would hurt Canelo's legacy more than a defeat to someone like David Benavidez. He explained that Crawford, moving up 2 weight divisions and competing in an older age, represent a monumental challenge. If Canelo were to lose under those circumstances, Bradley argued, it wouldn't just be seen as a single setback. It would fuel narratives about Canelo's decline and whether he's been avoiding the toughest test of his career.
Terence Crawford would beat a prime Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he would beat him. Yes, it would be a competitive fight, but Crawford, master thinker just like Floyd. The advantage that Floyd has is that he has great defense. The advantage that Crawford has is that he not only can fight orthodox, he's versatile. He can switch to the southpaw stance. And we all know that Floyd don't like to fight southpaws. We know that. What happens when you have a guy just as smart as you are and able to make adjustments like Crawford? What happens when you have a guy that can hurt you with either hand? A guy that's powerful and strong like Crawford. A guy that's quick as Crawford. A guy that can fight you in the pocket. A guy that knows how to execute that Philly shell. He knows how to bust through that. He'll have enough to beat Floyd, and he'll have enough to gain respect and hurt Floyd too. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he'll win a close decision. Hey, I want to know what everybody else thinks.
After defeating Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford addresses critics during the post-fight press conference. He reflected on how people constantly doubted him, saying he was a nobody, or that he couldn't beat a fighter like Canelo. Now what can they say? Crawford asked confidently. He called the victory a signature win, especially since Canelo had never been beaten at super middleweight. Crawford also pointed out the clear favoritism shown toward Canelo by the media and the crowd, noting the charged atmosphere in the arena. Yet, he insisted it only fueled his motivation, turning doubt and noise into the energy that drove his performance.
What was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avenesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo to me. To be honest.
Terence. Congratulations.
In a recent interview, Floyd Mayweather Jr. hinted that a return to professional boxing might be possible, especially with his upcoming exhibition bout against Mike Tyson scheduled for spring 2026. Speaking to TMZ, Mayweather said that while nothing is confirmed, discussions have taken place and anything's possible. He emphasized that he feels great, remains sharp, and wants to continue entertaining fans with memorable moments. Whether he's truly willing to risk his perfect record remains to be seen, but for the first time in years, Floyd has publicly left the door slightly open.
Hey, Manny fighting Conor and all those, you were just at the center of all these talks for so many years. It's exciting to be back there again. Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Floyd's genius or Crawford's grit? Who truly reigns supreme?